Did. Hello. Okay, we're not muted. Thought we were muted. I don't like what they did to the Streamlabs application. They changed the layout of it. It's very annoying. What's up, guys? Welcome to our live stream here. Wednesday Blitz and Rapid Chess. Juicebox Wizard is here, as predicted. What's this? You got another phone call? Just now? What is this number? Never heard of it. Very strange. Alright, whatever. So, we're going to be taking challenges 5-3 through 7 plus 3. Welcome to Astrobeat. Imre's challenging me. Juicebox is here. Good to see you guys. Weird Wednesday, unusual openings. Unless someone specifically doesn't want me to play a weird opening, we're going to be employing our weirder openings today. I should actually add that to the title. We can add it to the title. I wasn't sure I wanted to do weird openings today, but we'll be consistent. All right. Weird Openings Wednesday. So, ready to get started. Imre Bardi. Bardi Imre. You'll send the challenge. Been a long time. Juicebox Wizard, when was the last time you played on the stream? St. George slew the dragon. Extended fee and kettle. Always easy for white to break it up with some sort of A4 on the queen side, so you have to be kind of creative. Although it's not as passive as the Owen defense. I think there are disadvantages to both approaches. I usually play like bishop d3. But this is perfectly solid for white. I wonder if knight f6 is a decent move here. Probably won't make a great difference. 30 days ago, what? 30 days ago, last time you played. So what's the big deal? Juicebox Wizard, you relocated permanently, or you're just visiting a different country now? Typically, I think white usually holds off on moving the knight to d2 so early. Because on c3, cd, he'd really rather have the knight be able to go to c3. And I'm talking like, you know, ideally speaking. Famous game where Tony Miles beat Karpov featured a capture on c5. A slightly different position. If you were to take on c5, it would instantly become a Sicilian. It's always good to have your doctors in the neighboring country. All right, c3. The doctors are probably more expensive in Thailand, no? All right, now c3. What are we going to do? Kind of a dead end here. Knight c6 and queen b6. That's my usual procedure. However, I guess if d5, I could actually take it. It'd be a really demented position. We had a similar game recently. Pawn takes pawn, queen b6, knight b3. Was that against Imre or someone else? I think queen b6, I was saying it was a bad move. I ended up playing like take, queen b6, knight b3, a5, and feeling like I had made a huge mistake. I'll try something creative here. It looks slow though to not get my king. I really should evacuate my king from the center as soon as possible. He played d5. Taking looks like a clear mistake now that the e file can open up, so I have to play knight e7. I would say this is just a bad Benoni, or whatever you want to call it. Rook c8 is probably asking too much from the position. Well, I mean, I was thinking, you know, Juicebox Wizard, isn't Thailand kind of a major tourist country? I mean, I would think you'd have to be kind of selective if you're looking for a doctor there. That's some of them specifically target tourists. They specialize in ripping them off. I would think so. All right, here we go. E5, he's going for it. I might want to free up the d8 square to run away to. Another idea is c4. I was a little concerned he should have played c4. I had a game years ago where I felt like my position was terrible. Knight e7, c4. That looks really strong for white. Sealed in. F6, obviously. Mandatory evacuation procedures. I don't really see a better way of getting my h6 knight out. I'm lucky that he doesn't have a capture on h6. No f3, no f6. I don't agree with that, Asterbait. You know that. I don't subscribe to Ben Feingold. f6 is a very vital move in chess, especially when you're black. It's a good rule for like teaching like little kids how to play chess and not play f6 in the first 5 moves or whatever. But I think when you get beyond that, we have to take it to another level. You can't just wholesale say f6 is a bad move. That's why I joke about queen a5. Much more likely the queen a5 is a bad move than f6. All right, so eventually we knock out the e5 pawn and d6 will fall. We have to be patient. This is part of the procedure of undermining e5. Our king's perfectly safe here in this what do we call it? Cubby hole. I mean, obviously you could take on e4 in a pinch, but I don't see a necessity for that just yet. Smothered mate. It's ominous looking. Space advantage for white. But it looks like I'm simply threatening knight on g takes e5, winning a pawn. I don't really want to give up my light squared bishop, though. Blinking first. Blink. Now the G file. If we can use it. Or maybe bishop G7. Followed by castles. D6 is weak. I never want to give this bishop up unless I have to. It's just too powerful. If I was to play something like bishop takes e4, he would have bishop takes e4 threatening bishop b7. Bishop b7 would be pretty disruptive. Knight d4 maybe? He's losing his central pawn in a lot of lines. I mean, I could just play bishop takes e4, knight takes d6. See you later. Just up a pawn. Maybe white has some compensation. Knight takes d6 would stop bishop b7. The white center evaporates. Magic trick. What center? Never ever play f6, Astrobate. It's, in this case, the only way for black to survive. It's like digging yourself out from a grave. Risen again. Queen d4. Okay, e5 would weaken my white square significantly. You could play bishop takes e4, though. I mentioned this. So bishop takes e4, something like knight takes d6, going up a pawn. It's a concession, though, to give up that bishop. Of course, I could play bishop takes e4 and bishop takes d6 as well, developing a piece in the process. Then we have some issues. The other option is to play... You know, he has this move, actually, which is a little bit disruptive. I guess I could just play rook b8, but then knight c5. Alright, so we got to make a decision here. I said I wasn't going to trade this off, but time is money, friend. That's what the goblins say in World of Warcraft. Anyway. Time is money, friend. I don't know. At least he doesn't have bishop b7. Now he has the bishop pair to compensate for his pawn. He's got some open lines. I would say there's compensation. Just bishop c2 retreating, for example. We'd have to argue white has compensation. Also this. If queen a7, I have knight takes c4. Now I have rook c6. Means for defending myself. There is no good square for my knight to go to, so I think white has excellent compensation here, actually. Shouldn't have given up the white square bishop, looks like. Could go back. to f7. Queen a7, rook c6 with the idea of bishop c5. Bishop c5 is the idea, to get the bishop to an active square. Where is he going? g4. g4 is probably better, more active. Rook d1. Defend and attack. Final position, white still has some compensation. How much? White's actually better according to the engine. Crap. b4. He has so much compensation, he's better. No, it's a good game. Where did we leave book? Rook c8's got to be a bad move. I can't believe there's no games with knight c6. Apparently knight c6 is too risky to give him this d5. No one does that. Acham played this. I wonder if he played a Sicilian and then some sort of a6. I would think this position would arise sometimes from the c3 against a6 Sicilian. e4, c5, knight f3, a6, c3. Probably black plays something like b5 and transposes to a form of the St. George. I doubt that Cham Ishtvan played a6 on move 1 against Walter Brown, but you never know. Juice boxes here. No rated games. Please re-challenge me to casual 5-3 through 7+3. All right. I claim to play weird openings. Relatively weird openings for me. Juicebox, you have free healthcare in the Philippines? Because you're like a former U.S. service member? You can get healthcare in the Philippines? Is that what you're saying? How much does it cost to like travel, say, from Thailand to the Philippines? Is he here? Might have lost him, guys. Who the heck called me at 10:56? Don't recognize that number. Weird. Konstantin Chernyshov. ChessTube fam. You have to be a streamer on lichess. You have to create like a streamer page. It's pretty self-explanatory if you check it out on lichess, probably. You have to be approved as a lichess streamer. Okay, Mr. Juicebox, b3. Wow. In keeping with Feingold's strategies, Juicebox played f6. I think another case where f6 is justified. Probably justified here against my bishop b2. No, Feingold, f6 is not a bad move. Enough to make me think, though. F6 seems like a really good move, actually. I mean, it makes sense if you think about Benoni type positions where you're playing d4, you can support it with f6 and e5. If I played c4, d4, black has a great game. Alright, we'll be consistent and play bishop b2. But the question is really what happens after. What do I do after bishop b2? It's not that easy for him to control e5. You could always sacrifice the pawn, though. You could just play e5 here as a straight-up gambit. I think that it's... You would have some compensation. Like a really good black Mardimer reversed. e5. Maybe it doesn't work well because I have take, queen h5 check. Okay, you need to play something else first. Or maybe e5, pawn takes pawn, knight c6 is a good way to play it, like a black Mardimer. Knight h6. Logical, you have the f7 square for your knight. This also a little bit plays against queen h5. I'm hallucinating I had queen h5 last move. Alright, I'm saying if e5, I was hallucinating I had queen h5. f takes e, e4 with the threat of queen h5. It's probably not good for white. Queen h4 check. That's a problem. So you have e5 there. I have to take it, and then queen h4 check. And I have bishop g3. No, actually e5 looks like a good gambit, Juicebox. You could just play it. e5. If I have to take with the bishop, I'm going to lose a lot of time with that piece. But this is reasonable. Alright. Although, it's a little slow. We're attempting to play weird openings. Ace, 1886. Been a while since I played that account. Hi Tamed played challenge rather to unrated, which is cool. Okay. Queen to d6 with a one move threat. No problem. G3 or E3? If I play E3, he has bishop G4. Which could possibly threaten E5. I guess he can do that in any case. Alright, whatever. Everything's playable. I love fianchettoing. Double fianchetto is my specialty lately. Just do it. Guys, I'm streaming till 1 o'clock today. Got a very busy day. Consistently supporting e5. Blocking the bishop on c8. Yeah, I'll just play e4 when the time comes. I'm not going to let you overrun me, but you can play e5 if you want to. Hello, good people. Where? Bob's down there and we're up here. I guess we're good people. So, my big idea is this. This is the bird. The bird is the word. Whatever you want to call it. He's right not to take and ruin his structure. But white should be thinking about breaking his center. However, king safety cannot be overrated. It's kind of the most important thing in chess, I would argue. Making sure your king is safe. If the other player can't decisively attack you, you're at a distinct advantage. I think it's more important than material, probably. Material is definitely overrated. Damn, Juicebox, you're kind of dominating the G4 square, Holmes. Got G4 crushed. You're serious about that square. Man, I could take on D4 and play E5. But I don't think it's really that good. Also wanted to break his center. So C3. This queen C5 thing will start creating problems with my king. I don't know. If you took on D4, he would have bishop D4. He had queen C5 or queen B6. He can pin me. Bishop takes D4, pawn takes D4 was possible, and then I win the piece back with E5. I could have played bishop takes D4, but I'm giving up my dark squared bishop and I don't get a lot back for it. Juicebox is 1275. Jesus. He's 1275. He's playing like a demon. Absolutely underrated. Don't even get started. He's underrated at 1275. He should be at least 1400. Wasn't he higher before? I thought he was like 14s. 1400 plus tax. He's played the opening in a very interesting way. Creative and aggressive. Doesn't seem like I have anything special here. It's a good move too. I mean, his knight was redundant on h6. Mr. Coffee, welcome. How are the donuts today? I can't believe I'm playing a4. It looks slow as hell. Just ruling out b5, but I mean, is that a move he really wants to play anyway? Would Black really want to play b5 in such a position? I just want to get in c3. The problem is he probably has answers for that too. If c3, d3 doesn't look that bad for Black. Okay, now knight h4, leaving the center. Oh, man, I don't know what to do. I really don't. Give him a chance to go wrong. He's got to play d3 here. Very complicated position. Trying to undermine his center. Which way? So he's got bishop, sorry, knight g5. I mean, if rook takes. Consistently ahead on time. He's going to be sorry that he doesn't have a white square bishop someday. Maybe not. Everything's on dark squares. He's playing checkers. All he needs is like king b8, and then every single piece except for the pawn that's on b7 is on a dark square. Making my white square bishop into a sort of illusion. You can play knight d6. I don't think it drastically changes the position. Forcing him to put his king on the correct square. We ought to have something. Rook f5. I don't know how much more pressure I can put on him here before he pops. He's still got a couple ways to defend this. So I don't know. Difficult to get in there. d3 with the idea of queen a5. I mean, the thing is, strategically, my bishop on g2, right? Is that a good piece or a bad piece? This is a bad piece. This is a bad piece. We both have bad bishops. But his bishop actually has quite a bit of potential, even though it's technically a bad bishop. He's played far better than 1275. You got to give him credit, man. All seriousness aside. If you're 1200 and you play 12 moves without dropping, 20 moves without dropping a pawn, I think you're doing pretty well. This is creative. Wow. Queen f7 self pin. Come on, dude. He's going for mate with queen h5. Oh, snap. That's not happening. Queen h5, knight g4. I could lose on time. Computer says I have a winning position here. That's kind of harsh, dude. Look at that. Rook takes e5. Why? I didn't like knight g4, but I have rook back to f5. Failed to notice that I could just put my rook back on f5. It's all a lie. Alright, man, nice try. I wonder if anyone's ever played f6 here. That's surprising. Surprising that f6 has never been played before. I don't think it's such a bad move, actually. It's perfectly reasonable. The computer wants to play an inverted King's Gambit with e4. Anyway. Welcome everybody to my stream. Please subscribe and support the stream if you can. Like these good people. We've got 4 challenges. We're taking the subscribers first. Therefore, Arsenal fan. I'm surprised f6 has never been played. It's a very logical move after b3. I mean, frankly, I would be seriously surprised if like 1b3 f6 isn't a move. We'll have to look that up later. I would be surprised if it hasn't been played. You know, b3 f6 immediately. Why not? It makes sense. Weird openings Wednesday. The anti-Arsenal fan. What is this called? The only time I saw this played between 2 title players, nonetheless. White played knight c3, I think. White played knight c3, black played c6, white played d4. If I recall, in that game. If f5, now the deferred Latvian. It looks unsafe. Latvian deferred. Bishop c4. Okay. Donate. Whatever this is called. I don't recommend it. Petrosian Fischer, knight f3, c5, b3, d5, bishop b2, f6. Petrosian. Uber driver, thanks for joining us. Yeah, now white opens it up. Checking for cunning traps. It's an early Christmas present from Arsenal fan. Very early in the year for gifts. Do you know where your children are? Take good care of your pieces, man. Make sure they're all protected. Nothing bad can happen. The pieces are all protected. I remember being surprised by one of your moves. What was it? Queen f7. I mean, I realized you should probably move your queen at some point, and you wanted to head over to attack the h2 square. I thought that's where you really came unraveled, but maybe you came unraveled earlier. You know, it's very possible. Stockfish will say you're like -3 before that. Well, I think you might have played a little too ambitiously. I don't know. juice box, but I thought it was reasonable. It's a good game to go over, definitely. Arsenal fan is strangely silent. He just threw his mouse like out of a third-story window. Neighbors are calling the police. I was really afraid he would have picked up on the tactic, and that he would realize here. There it is. Good suggestion. What's he got? A pawn for the piece? It's a glorified Cochrane gambit. Asteroid knows what we're talking about. So knight f6, I want a castle, but no, that's not happening. Practical chances here for white to survive. Definitely. Yeah, Arsenal's not one to give up easily, which is a good quality. Knight h6, d6. Yeah, I agree. He has some pretty good comp. All right, let's just be careful. Didn't think too much on that move, but maybe he should. Either way he goes with f5 or e5 is relatively committal. Still, it seems reasonable either way. I was completely winning in my simul game against Arsenal fan. That was the one I lost on Sunday. I only lost one game out of 25. And he was like strategically crushed. But I didn't pay attention, and he defended against a threat that I thought I had, and I just lost a piece. Yeah, Antonio, my theory is that playing tournament games improve my simul play. But it might just be a coincidence. This seems like he's really got serious compensation now. Drastic measures might be called for. Anyone for drastic measures? Oh man, I'm loving my king here. Perfectly safe. Standard King's Indian type position with the king on g6. I like that it's on a white square. Now, as far as developing the rest of my pieces, there might be some issues. This pin is pretty annoying as well. what happens? Let's see, queen f3. We should probably wait. Basically a King's Indian, where white has sacrificed a piece for not quite enough. That's what I thought too. Do I have rook e1, bishop g4, bishop f6, bishop f3? That's not going to work. Rook d1, bishop g4, bishop f6, bishop f3, bishop e5, bishop d1, bishop h8. That's not good. I probably end up down a pawn in an ending there. Rook d1, bishop g4, bishop f6, bishop f3, bishop e5, bishop d1, bishop h8. I'm actually down a piece. What am I talking about? All right. So rook f8 becomes necessary. Not sure rook f8 did anything offensively. I just want to trade pieces. Bishop g4, bishop f6. I have queen c5 check. No. Bishop f6, bishop f3, bishop e5, bishop e2. This better work. Am I losing a piece here? Good thing I saw that move. Didn't see knight f4 check at all. Total blind spot. Not good. It seems like Arsenal fan tries harder once he has a bad position. Now he's got queen g6 check. I mean, what does that actually do? Percy Hepworth, welcome. Long time no see. Time advantage in the grounds he presumably hasn't slept for 2 weeks. He always has a time advantage. G8 or H8? What's wrong with G8? I have queen e8, trying to trade queens as a defense. Meantime, he has to recapture his pawn. No, he's screwed now. Motivating factor. Uber driver. I remember a Benko gambit like that against Wolfie in a Blitz game. He beat me. Consolidating. I only ever played Wolf and Blitz. He's a good player. Still around somewhere in like San Francisco, but he doesn't play chess seriously. He's never been the same since he quit. Yeah, we had Grunfeld in Blitz too. I was talking about it on the stream. I played it when he was Anand second, and Anand was playing the Grunfeld, so they were analyzing that stuff. Anand. I always pronounce Anand wrong. So what are we doing? Yeah, this looks really good. Maybe he has knight g6. I shouldn't do anything. I have rook f7. White's just lost here. I think I was trying to set up knight h5 or some weird move. Well, at least Wolf wasn't trying to make money from chess. All right. He's too intelligent for that. All right. What a game. What a game. Collecting. When I was newspaper delivery boy, I always hated collecting. But now, damn, we got a lot of challenges. It just went off the cliff. Where did all these people come from? So, Ace has been here for a while. Morales, Mule Skinner. We got a couple of subscribers who I will honor with the first chance to play. I've got another hour to play, guys, so we should be able to play 4 or 5 more games. But nobody challenged me to rated games, and I'm not going to be able to play even the games we have here. So I have to leave a little bit earlier today due to a busy schedule. 1:15 at the latest. The assassin has challenged me to rated. That's the idea here. We're playing weird openings. Don't be insulted, Arsenal fan. We'll try to get away with what we can. Queen e7. Let's try e4. We're going to have a French. No French. Wow. It's a modified modern. Modified. So just play Queen e2 against everything. The 2-2 draw. Oh, Arsenal. I didn't check the Premier League lately. Not my thing. Rich is into that, as you can guess. Who did they have a 2-2 draw against? So what are we going to do with the Peert's defense? It's kind of hard to play weird openings against hyper-modern things. You talked yourself out of playing e5. Oh, you had... So you played f5 or e5? Was that the position we're talking about? I wasn't sure if f5 or e5 was stronger. Alright, what are we doing? Yeah, I can't come up with anything yet for weird openings. It's funny that you mentioned Queen d3. I was thinking about doing that early. But f5. What is this? Does this have a name? I don't think I've ever had anyone play that against me. Terrible, obviously, but not that terrible that it's completely not playable. Interesting. So knight c3 transposes to the Philidor. No, it doesn't, because my knight's on c3. It would be like a weird Vienna game after knight c3, e5. You know, that's probably not that bad for black. Not that good, but not that bad. Knight c3, e5. Knight f3, pawn takes pawn, knight g5. No, thank you. So I guess I prefer this. He just sat it like pre-moved. The white square bishop exchange attempts to take advantage of the weaknesses on the white squares. It's probably not that easy, though. So e takes f5 is clearly best, according to our pundit. Yeah, I get this sometimes in the Lichess deferred stuff like this. Playing knight f3 on move 1. Just kidding. Queen d3. The white squares look juicy. Capablanca like queen h3. Would you like an endgame? Miralles has this sort of obsession with castling queenside with black pieces. I mean, it's one thing to do it with white, but it's hard to justify it with black. He's clearly already of a mind to castle queenside. Okay, so you viewed queen b5 as a real threat. Well, I mean, to be frank, I've seen a lot of cases of queen b5, queen b7, you know, type positions where you could just sacrifice the pawn. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. I'm just saying stuff. Looks like a bad Petrov. But I appreciate Antonio playing along with us in his 194th game. Seems like we've played a lot more. You kind of slowly achieved the 200. The 200 club. I should put like a notification on the Twitch page for all the people who reached 200 games against me on the stream. There's not many of you. Nefedov, Arsenal fan, has blown past 200 now. How many do you have, Acerbate? The low 100s? Because you don't play that much? Yul Skinner's over 200, right? We're going to play him next. Then we'll finally... Asano just keeps challenging me to rate it. We'll finally get to ace before the stream is over. So I told you he was going to castle queenside. I'm a freaking mind reader. Knight g5. What if we go direct? Knight g5. Rook e8. Queen h3. That doesn't work. I think he's getting away with this. It's kind of hard to find something here. Just doesn't seem like I actually have anything. So there's two ways to play. C3, which is passive. Putting all my eggs in one basket. Trying to play like knight g5. Doesn't seem right. You know. Too passive to play c3. Can't do it. Oh, you want to do it like an exchange French? Like c3, b4? Maybe. I was thinking he might even be able to play, on c3 he might even be able to play e5. It's probably a bit much. So I have d5. I wonder what the engine would say in this position. I like c4. It's more about the white squares. Black sucks, but not that bad. You know, I don't feel like I refuted your opening. Or even came close to refuting it. Do I have a knight getting the e6 or something? Like knight g5, d5. If e5, d5, I don't try to win the pawn. Maybe I should. He's just stopping knight g5 now. Go. Go to GM. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. All right. D5 anyway. I shouldn't have bothered. What if we just ignore G4? B5 takes. I can't believe he did that. I thought he was going to go with G4 for sure. Who put this pawn storm idea in my head anyway? I'm about to lose on time. But that's good. So now he's just completely playing for time. I lost my whole advantage. He's not playing for time. He's just playing fast. I'm disappointed with Tata. I think the field is sort of stupid. You have like 4 elite players and then 4 randoms. Okay, they always has some qualifiers and local players and all that, but somehow this year seems weaker, with the exception of Carlsen being a monster. I don't know. Anand becomes more and more like irrelevant and almost like a decoration. I wish like he had retired instead of Kramnik. Seriously, I don't know. I like Kramnik a lot more. He needs to make room for the younger players. It's funny that I should say that. I'm like almost as old as he is. I always feel like he's just out to collect the appearance fees and stuff. I never liked him since the World Championship matches with Carlsen, honestly, where he just sort of showed up, took the money, and went home. I don't know. I lost I lost respect for Anand with those matches with Carlsen where he didn't even seem to try. That's what happened for me. I just can't like him after that. Watch the f2 square. You've got knight takes d4. Jeez. Winning by force. Maybe I'm better off not taking it. Almost certainly better off not taking it. I can't wait till the World Championship Candidates Tournament. For me, that's much more interesting than this. I am not going to take that pawn. I mean, the knight. He's totally crushing. $1998 was a good year. He's not playing for time. You got to keep that in mind. He would never do something like that. I'm starting to have hallucinations. Damn, he found it. It's like playing Blobix. Jesus. Chess God. I'm lucky to survive. Why did I play that move? I should have accepted the draw if I'm going to play stupid moves like that. You could have played King E5. I mean, you're just like better probably at that point. Maybe this is too much. Hoover. Ooh, on the dark square. Herbert Hoover. What about Bishop F2? Oh no. So let's see. Take, 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 take. And you're up a pawn. Is that lost for black? Looks lost. Yeah. But you could have played bishop f2, like even right at the end, probably. I mean, this has to be a draw. Okay, I should try e4, g5 check there. I mean, it's a draw. g5, take, 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 take. As long as you don't trade the last minor piece off. King takes e5, I win the e6, but I can't win that position. This has to be a draw. Bishop f2, g5 check. You know, this is all different, totally different story. Like, apparently you could even play king e7. But I imagine this is a draw. I mean, obviously, I can try to advance my pawn, but I trust this table base. Whew, a lot of challenges today, guys. Mule Skinner is our subscriber. Then I'll take the challenge with Ace. If there's no other subscribers on the list, Osmir. Nobody else is a subscriber, but I appreciate it if you do. Might as well pick one random FIDE player to play in the candidates. Why do you say that, Mr. Coffee? I mean, I know that there's been discussion about, you know, debate about the candidates because maybe they're choosing some random Russian grandmaster to play. But still, it's going to be a lot stronger tournament than Weekends A. Okay, you can't ask that much of a private tournament. But the thing is, after the years and years of super strong Weekends A tournaments, I feel a little disappointed by this year's. Okay, so Mule Skinner's got 234 games against. This is 235. Nice. It's a lot of games, man. Do you normally play the Grunfeld? After 235 games, I thought he played the Banco. Yeah, actually, a4 and rook a3. I like a4. I'll play that next move. How about that? Romanishin. Romanishin had his birthday last week. I wished him a legendary birthday. They like that on Facebook. Romanishin. A4. Looks totally random. I remember the first time I saw this. I think it was like the Spanish Grandmaster Garcia Iundane. Tragically died later. But this A4 move, the first time I saw it, that's just completely random. You know, what is that? It's actually kind of annoying to play against. Because I played both sides. A5, I think, is actually played here. I'm not sure if I want to do it, though. I guess it really is kind of random. Okay, so knight c6 is central. He's increasing his control of e5. It's almost reminding me of the last game. Somehow this doesn't feel... I feel like I'm playing like Acerbate in the Joko piano or something with b4, b5. Russia is the host of the candidates, Arsenal fan. I mean, if it was being held in Paraguay, they favor a Paraguayan, probably. You know. But, a host country. Imagine a FIDE tournament being held in Russia. Oh, come on, man. Ever since Ilumjinov now, the organization has been dominated by Russia. So, yeah, it seems like, well, who knows how long ago, this, by the way, the FIDE government has changed, but does anybody know, for example, how long ago, like, the whatever decision was made to host this tournament? It could have been, like, years ago. Isn't, like, Zenon Franco from Paraguay originally? Bishop f5. Just bishop f5. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm just making absolutely random moves. I think I'm playing black. This is what I typically do with black in the King's Indian, or whatever you call it. I'm basically playing like I'm black. I was supposed to play weird openings. This is the best I could come up with. A4. I've actually played this. I played this twice in the Budapest Spring Festival 2 years ago. It's a good system for playing little kids. Their coaches pumped them full of like 20 moves of theory in the Grunfeld and the King's Indian. Then you play like 6A4. The sort of depressed looks coming over their faces. Like they wasted those hours of coaching with their Hungarian trainer for nothing. So you could play A4 against them. Very principled play by black. Although, the knight on e4, I mean, it can just be kicked out. If I play like knight e1, he has e5. It's not so simple. Equal. Arsenal's getting nervous about the bishop on f4, right? I'm planning on e3. Really freak him out. Yeah, actually, I thought about Uber Driver playing a4 in combination with knight f3 to try to play like a reversed Budapest gambit. Knight f3 on move 1. Then black plays d5. Then you play a4 on move 2. There's almost no good way to play the Budapest gambit in reverse. So I thought like a4 is probably one of the only moves that wouldn't completely ruin it, you know. Knight fd2 allowed e5. That's why I didn't play it. Or knight e1. Kamsky would love this. For both sides. More for white, though. Gives it a London system feel. How about a5, just grabbing space? I wonder if he'll react. That makes me really feel like I'm playing black now. Wasting some extra time with this pawn. It looks like black has a piece configuration from like a Petrov or something. If we could just make the e-pawns disappear. Knight f3 and a4 on move 2. Knight f3, d5, a4. I think I'm going to start working on that. The extended prie. Now prie will play like knight f3, d4, and a3. You can do knight f3, d4, and a4. Now the point is not to do d4. Actually, Morales likes the Budapest Gambit, so you can try to play it in reverse. Try to think of the best possible way to play the Budapest in reverse with one knight f3. Knight f3, d5, now what? You could do something like h3, I guess. What's the most useful way of trying to play the Budapest in reverse? You like b3? I thought there was something wrong with b3. Oh, you're going 95, so you're turning into Fajarowicz. Okay. There's something about b3 I didn't like. Yule Skinner blinking first. There's got to be a better way to try to play the Budapest in reverse. I haven't put that much thought into it. Maybe you can do like rook g1. That would be stupid. Now look at this, queen b5. Wow. That's cool. Someone was mentioning rook a3 earlier. It might come to fruition. This game's just too weird. Now knight d6. This should be illegal, playing like this. Knight e6. Sorry, I meant knight d6. It's just getting pretty random. This is a nice move. Probably my last move was bad. Now black's better. Alien chess again. I played too passively. We don't have enough time. Actually, I'm kind of liking it now. I'm going to fall for another knight takes d4 trap. Like against Morales. Maybe just bishop f2. You know, the temptation is to play bishop h6. Maybe I should try for more. Not going to trade that off. Oof. Rook b8, a6, knight takes a6. Anyway. The plan of rook h5. Seriously. He's not giving up. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. My D pawns, my hanging pawns. Look at that. Oh man, F5. It's getting scary now. Yes, F4. My king side is at risk. Wow. Oh no. Can't possibly trade queens, dude. That was the worst move ever. Just when you were all over me. Can't believe you traded queens. Can't trade queens there. You were close to some serious kingside threats. Oh, this is too strong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not the greatest in-game technique by white. Did I blunder? Difficult to stop. Okay. Subscriber challenges are finished. I've got about 40 minutes left. Time for 2 or 3 games. Ace been waiting forever to play. He's 2300. He's still here. He or she. Thank you for waiting for the game. Now we're supposed to play unusual openings, so I'm going to try a Dutch. Something I don't normally play. This is a standard opening for a lot of people, but not for me. Interesting move by white, G4, which I played and lost with. Be careful. All right. Enough for the provocations from randoms. H3. We could give the pawn back with G3. I think when I played this with white one time, I played E4, which is the other way to try to play. I'm not sure this is the best move, but it's a practical way of playing. Look, Ma, no weaknesses. Well, actually, that's not true. I mean, F7 is a little bit weak. Now, I suppose we go for D5. play the structure symmetrically. I had a game against Morales that I still remember where I tried something ridiculous. I played... What was it? It was like f4, d5. f4, d5, b3, g5. Or somehow I played g5 and sacrificed a pawn, like a reverse version of this. Do you remember that? It was f4, g5 right away. Okay, yeah. It's similar in a way to that, feels like. At least I'm not down a pawn. It seems like both sides... This is kind of a funny position. I mean, it almost feels like a queen pawn, a normal queen pawn game. Yeah, c4. Why not? I really need to I feel like I need to reinforce my center, but I don't want to play e6. Really perverse Grunfeld. We're getting creative now. This is the weirdest Grunfeld ever. Fianchetto Grunfeld. He's missing his f-pawn. I'm missing my f-pawn. That's what it is, basically. That's weird. And you've played h3. We got a Fianchetto Grunfeld where the f-pawns are gone and you just randomly played h3. Okay. I feel like that should be alright for black. This is obviously a super sensitive weak point. Now knight b4 is probably not a good idea, so we're going back. We going back to b6. And it looks like maybe g3 is not such a problem for white after all. Knight e2 kind of, and h3 sort of fits in this type of line, actually. Stop bishop g4 counterplay. Maybe white's just better. Weird. Interesting game. How this move totally fits now. And my king looks unsafe on the b3 g8 diagonal. Knight b4. I know knight b4 was possible, but it seemed unprincipled. Queen a4 check, knight c6. It's like one of those Keel variations of the... But I have queen b3 or knight d3 check in this case. Yeah, it might be playable. Maybe knight b4 was better. Very little time to think. That's entirely possible. All right, queen b3 is not a big deal. I could even play e6 if I had to. He's got to worry about d4. So this is an interesting game. Queen b3 check king h8 is also, I would imagine, fine for black. Good to see you, Bob. How are things down in hell? All right. So, knight c6 feels appropriate. It's a warm climate. They already went through climate change. Downstairs. As you know, I'm fond of d4, f5, h3. Knight f6, g4. That's the game that you shared on the stream. That's right. Knight c4 now isn't quite what I planned, but it's interesting, isn't it? Knight c4 anyway. am I gonna do? Like sack and exchange? That's a bit much. Let's just play king h8. It feels like a cop-out. Maybe white's just better here, spatially. I could have sacked the exchange with knight c4, bishop f2, rook takes f3. But I doubt that's enough. Man, that's a weakening move itself. b3. Queen d6. Magnus himself. Okay, this is a bit weird. But whatever. At least our f7 square is protected. White's position seems pretty sound now. Very sound. Much is better. It's like playing John Spielman again. I was joking about that yesterday. Structural master. White has the slight structural advantage here. I never played John Spielman, but I imagine it would be something like this. Yes. No risk, strategic position. Better structure. White's play is extremely positional. I don't know what to do. This is horrible. Yeah, White's playing like God. E5, D5, I'm just crushed against C7. This bishop is positionally lost. It's like playing Botvinnik. This guy is ridiculously good. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I don't remember getting this crushed. You put the pressure on yesterday? You played this guy? Really? There's a sick mate there. Except it wasn't me, because I had a bishop on h7 defense. Oh, I could have played e5. Crazy. probably better ways of doing this. Whoa. Just sung his pieces. That's weird. Completely lost. Although knight f4 was a weird move. Like right here, I think I'm like strategically 100% lost. It's +2 according to the engine. It's a horror show for black. I started to lose the thread around move 12. See, I'm telling you guys I should have sacked the exchange. Knight c4 bishop f2, I was seriously... Dude, the engine goes right for it. Yeah, but I didn't see knight d2 at the time. The engine doesn't want to do that. It doesn't even want to win back the exchange. It wants to play knight takes d4. So this is, wow. Honestly, I didn't think this was good enough. Yeah. It's like the only move. Wow. I mean, if he had time, once he has time to play like king h2, I'm just like strategically lost. It was the end of the game was sort of silly. White shouldn't lose. He was clearly better the whole way. Okay, Haberbom got a gift subscription yesterday, thanks to Move 11. It's going to be my next to last game. I don't know. Do we have time for one more after this, perhaps? No, it's 7+. I don't know if we're going to have time for another game. All right. You're supposed to play d5. So I can play the reverse Budapest. We got to get Haberbom out of book early. The Queen's Indian attack. I have to leave, guys. Maximum one more game. So now he's playing... He normally plays the white side of the Nimzo, so it's interesting to make him face Queen's Indian. She doesn't really play. Nimzo hybrid. This makes him feel like he's in a system he plays a little bit. I wonder if c4 is a move here. I don't know. The extra tempo. I feel like I have to play this. Invader Team is hosting for up to 4 viewers. Thank you, Invader. Thank you for invading. It's not a raid, it's an invasion. You play the Queen's Indian with both sides. What do you mean? You always play the classical Nimzo. What are you talking about? Every game like we've ever played, you play the white side of the classical Nimzo. You may play it with black. You play the Grunfeld, I thought. What did you do? Like you changed your repertoire? Every single game you play the Nimzo. What do you mean? We have like 15. You played it every single time. I know you better than yourself. games tonight. I tried to play weird openings today. But still, that's your primary system. Gonna know that better than the other things. So what is this? We'll have to play f4, I would presume. It's gonna be tricky though. Haberbaum's rating just keeps going up. It's up to 2005 now. 2000 every rating. You got stronger lately. I didn't realize you had so many bullet games. 2000 on all rating fronts. I wonder about 93. It's really a weird idea. A little bit over the top. I can't help it. I want to play something weird. I don't want to get pinned. You got to be intuitive and trust yourself. Even if not objectively the best move. Learn to trust your instincts. Play your own game that you understand. Queen d6 was played quickly. What's going on? He resigns. Too much bullet chess. That gives us time to play one more game, though. If Daradanas is here. What happened there? This is not an opening I know, but I thought 93 was pretty provocative and probably incorrect, but it worked. It totally made him malfunction. A5. That's a good move. The engine likes 93. Wow. Well, I mean, I have problems if I don't do it. With you very simply executing bishop g7 castles and something like knight to d7. I mean, I'm going to get pinned myself. I think with this move, black equalizes. You could play, you know something I was thinking about? c3. Can you force the Smith-Morra, even though White hasn't even played e4 yet? It seems like a good way to try to play the Smith-Morra with White, like cd4, c3. The downside is that Black can force an exchange Slav by just not taking on c3. I don't see why it's not playable, though. Seriously, c3. I was thinking about this like last week. I mean, you have two choices. You can take, or you can just transpose to an exchange Slav. e3 seems like a passive move for White. No, I'm basically White, and he's Black. And it's a martial defense. I try to do the weird opening stream on Wednesdays. I mean, if it's still popular, I'll keep doing it. We had a fair amount of viewers today. Other days, Wednesdays has been a really bad day for the stream. I don't know why. people do their laundry on Wednesdays. I don't know what it is about Wednesday. So c4 now. Looks like the key try. You can also play bishop b5. So what would this be? Reverse Vienna variation type of thing. Really not a lot of ways to protect my e5 pawn. Queen a5, check, knight c3, bishop b4. It's a reversed. Yeah, Rago's in reversed, basically. This seems forced. What other move do I can play e4. You keep getting worse at solving tactics. Probably you should try thinking. I'm not sure bullet chess is good for that. All I know is that, like Gizgeyer, Arthur Bisgeyer said, no, I mean, I played in a long tournament and suddenly, like, I'm playing better. You need to think long, you know, as much as possible. I think it's good for your game. To have deeper thoughts and have time to calculate properly, right? You can play Blitz and calculate quickly all you want, but the bottom line is that you're only capable of doing like relatively superficial calculation in Bullet or even Blitz. Now, there's a ghost outside my door, hanging out there, reading too many Stephen King books. All right. Nearly winning. So bishop takes h2 check. Yeah, I don't think Bisgeyer was ever really an opening specialist. It seems like his black side of the Lopez was pretty good. He had a good handle on classical stuff. The last time I played him, I can't remember what it was. He played some kind of anti-Sicilian. Now I can't remember. I only played him twice, and there was a huge gap in between. We had a draw in like 1991, and then he lost. It was like 2000, early 2000s. With like a 15-year gap almost in between the games. We had I'd like to find my first game with Bisgeyer because it had this really strange pin tactic that I never really duplicated in another game. I drew him with black. I played him black both games. So now white pretty much toast. Bobix, are you Sicilian? You're part of the mafia in France, or what? That's what brings you there? Now wait a second here. Maybe I'm going too far. Let's see. Knight g4, knight c6, bc6, bishop c6, king f8. But now he needs a good move. I mean, knight g4. Knight c6, bc6, bishop c6, king f8, queen d5, queen h4. I don't know, I don't see a defense. But maybe this isn't my best move. It's entirely possible. Probably not. I mean, most likely I should just... Actually, what do you want me to play? Queen d6? Queen d6 is interesting. I mean, I have a double threat I'm facing in a sense. Well, Queen d6 now would be good if I had time. But I'm talking about the previous move. Is there a better move instead of knight g4? Obviously on Queen d6 he can play g3, bishop g3, hg3, queen g3. Yeah, I mean g3 is probably critical. I was looking at queen f6. May not be good enough. Okay, it's a mess. I don't know. That's why I'm thinking that I misplayed it. No, here it's just lost. F3 doesn't work. He's clearly getting mated now. But g3 was the only move. So let's see. Yeah, queen d6. Wow, the engine actually wants to castle. They didn't like my move. Alright, so what's the problem with g3? It is queen f6. Wow. Okay, but what's up with king g2? There must be some sick queen h6, knight e3. So it does work. Okay. King g2, queen h6. Because we've got this, and we've got this tactic over here. Shuffle pass with knight takes e3. Yeah, we're going to get him on h3. So there's no time for something like this. It's beautiful. Eventually he gets crippled by everything. Can't really get away. That's it. Okay, guys, gotta go. Thank you for playing. We're going to be back on Thursday night with a subscriber stream. Please submit games if you're a subscriber to the stream, and if you are not, please do so and subscribe. Like Mr. Sleman, who became a subscriber this week. No need for h5. Guy Fawkes. Jump Jackson, thanks. Arsenal, Blobix, Yubadas, Jim, and Asterbase. So we have room for 5 more games for the subscriber stream. You like it after King G2, though. You like it. G3, Queen F6, you like it here? No, I would have found this. I would have played Queen F6. I mean, it's pretty thematic. Alright, guys. Thank you for the compliments. We'll be back again Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. here on lichess and Twitch. Thanks, everybody, for playing. We have the subscriber stream. If you're a subscriber and want to submit a game for our stream on Thursday night, please do so. Okay? Thanks, everybody. See you Thursday. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.